Hi class, this is Amanda. I'm sorry I'm out of town and I have to record this, but today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Convergence Culture. It's a really good book. I have to super recommend it. It's so interesting. I was surprised. Normally, if I have to read something for any class, it's heavy reading, but this reading is very light, it's very easy to read, and it's fun. And so let me introduce you to the author a little bit. Henry Jenkins is a professor of communications, journalism, and cinematic arts. And he works at the University of Southern California now, but he worked at MIT for about 10 years, which is when he published this book. He has an extraordinary blog that he updates. I wouldn't say daily, but all the time. And so there's a link on our wiki page, so you should definitely check that out. The text name is actually Convergence Culture, where old and new media collide. And so it's very much about how users and the consumers interact with any kind of media content, the internet, any kind of popular television shows, and how that relationship has changed over the years. And so the audience is no longer passive. It's very active, and so a lot more is expected of the shows and of their audiences. Chapter 1 is called Spoiling Survivor. And so Jenkins talks a lot about the active participation of the audience and how they interact with the content, and they use a collective intelligence, which means that the audience kind of pools their resources and they get on forums and they talk about who's going to win, who has the strengths, and whatnot. Chapter 2, it's called Buying into American Idol. Jenkins talks a lot about product placement, and especially American Idol has Coca-Cola, as if any of you watch the show would know. And so how just advertising creates a fan following. Even if you're not a big fan of Coca-Cola, you might be a big fan of American Idol. And so you might just buy Coke because you're a fan of American Idol. So he talks a lot about how that plays into the participation of it all. Chapter 3 is all about the Matrix, which is really exciting. And he talks a lot about transmedia. And it's a franchise that is across many platforms. So The Matrix has movies, it has comics, it has video games. And so the thing about The Matrix is that you have to view all of these platforms to understand the entire storyline. And he talks all about the secret hidden things within each of the movies and what the significance of 101 is. And so if you're interested in The Matrix, definitely check that chapter out. Chapter 4, Quentin Tarantino's Star Wars. So obviously Star Wars, not by Tarantino. But it's a grassroots movement, and it kind of talks about how the fans created the parodies of Star Wars, and kind of gets into copyright, how they go around it, and what you can expect to find in all these new kind of movements. Chapter 5 is about Harry Potter. It's called Why Heather Can Write. And it's about a girl who created a website called The Daily Prophet, which is the name of the wizarding newspaper in the Harry Potter series. And so she's learning, she's expanding her writing skills, she's got a bunch of children working under her, and Warner Brothers steps in and it just slaps copyright infringement on them, shuts the website down. Everyone was in outrage because the children are just trying to learn. So it's kind of where is the line? Where do you stop? Where do you go? So it's very muddled in this new age of media. Chapter 6, it's called Photoshop for Democracy, and it's the public interaction with political discourse, how you're using different social media platforms and whatnot. And to keep in mind, this book, it was published in 2006, and so Jenkins has a couple of articles that he's written since then, but it's not completely updated, so you're not going to read anything about Pinterest or how that's using right now. I really just encourage y'all to view the video that we put on our site. It's the author, it's Jenkins, talking about his book, the key concepts. It's an updated, it was published in about 2008 or 2009. It's a couple years after the book, and so it includes a few more updated concepts. And so go on our wiki site, view it. All right, it's Will's turn. Hi, goodbye.